Sunak to push France to go further on efforts to stop smallboat channel crossings.
You hear that? Sunak is going to push Macron.
And the BBC, going for something very similar, the PM is pushing Macron. It's everywhere. It's in The Sun, The Telegraph, who say Macron must back Britain's migrant plan, The Express, who complain that Macron is about to reject the plan, and The Mail, who for some reason feel a need to channel their stories through lying bullies, in this instance Priti Patel.
Perhaps Boris Johnson was busy.
Now, it's often said the Conservatives are a party of tradition, of nostalgia.
Like, they always bang on about the war, don't they? They always think everything was better in the good old days.
I'll tell you what, Dad was right. The younger generation need a dose of reality. These youngsters today, tell you what, a power cut or two might be just the ticket to shake some of today's youngsters out of their sublime sense of entitlement.
You know, you always get this feeling that they hark back to a mythical British period that never was. You know, in their minds it was all, you know, glory, glory, rule Britannia, everyone running around with bunting. But in reality,
people got sick more often, infant mortality was higher, people didn't have central heating.
You had tuberculosis, racism was rife, women were stuck in the kitchen.
Domestic abuse was still legal and entertainment was shit.
But still, they like to look back at the past with rose tints, and if they had their way, they would like to repeat it.
Bring back the death penalty!
But nostalgia and repetition be damned. I don't think even I ever dreamed they would want to just repeat this same episode again and again.
Because there was David Cameron in 2015 saying we have to turn back these boats. Then a couple of years later, Theresa May pledging to make a border control deal with Emmanuel Macron. 18 months later, and it's the shaven Arctic Yeti's turn. Then Truss took a well-earned break from eye-wateringly buggering my mortgage to poke her beak into the subject of small boat crossings.
Interestingly, like it's quite funny, right? So Johnson signed the deal with Emmanuel Macron to better control the small boat crossings, to start taking it seriously. That's why it was being heralded as a sort of a big thing. And then Truss comes in with that comment. Do you remember?
Liz Truss says jury's out on whether Macron is a friend or foe. A couple of days later, it flips to this. Liz Truss accused of wrecking Channel Crossings deal with Macron friend or foe gaff.
Now, where are we? Like 4 or 5 months down the line? And the same Tory press who supported her to get into office, and then she scuppers that deal. The same Tory press are like, well, this is France's problem. Why aren't France patrolling their border?
So, like, even if you overlook the changing shape and relationship of England and France since we left the EU...
Like, put all of Brexit aside for a minute. Because you would have still had a solution, even post-Brexit, if your girl hadn't fucked it.
Anyway, so that's Cameron, May, Johnson, Truss.
Now it's Sunak's turn, right? I hope when he rocks up at Macron's office and he saunters through the door, I hope Macron is sat in a Bond villain chair. He turns around and he's stroking his groundhog.
Like, come on in then, motherfucker. It's your turn now, is it?
You know what I'd like to see Macron do, right? I'd like to see him, he sits down Sunak in his room and then he says this to him.
Listen, Rishi, I understand what this is.
Oh, you do?
Yes, your party is 30 points down. You are an authoritarian. You cannot fix the problems your country is facing. So you distract with this asylum seeker small boats crossing.
Right, yeah, yes, pretty much.
So here is what I am going to do. It is a solution for both our countries.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I am going to set up a border force. It will be well-funded. It will tackle criminal gangs. It will do everything that you and your party say that you want.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that sounds fantastic. So when would it start?
Well, here is the catch. It will be time-scaled to start in 19 months.
Oh, you fucking bastard. Like, because then he could claim that he's offered a solution, but it wouldn't be implemented until after Sunak has probably left office. Like, if you look at... It's a new Prime Minister every 2 years for the last few years. You know he has to call a GE at some point in the next 18 months. The chances of Sunak not succumbing to some kind of, like, Tory internal warfare seems slim. That would be a master move by Macron, in my opinion. Anyway, that's it from me for this video. If you're enjoying these videos, by the way, check out the link on my profile because it will take you straight to my podcast. And there's the most recent episode. Richard Madeley was on Question Time last night, right? And I've done this thing where I'm like roasting him and like how unfunny and Alan Partridge he is. But I'm also talking a lot about the media, why they're covering the snow rather than talking about the cost of living and shit. So if you want to go check out that, then you probably should do. But if you don't want to, like if this is enough of me, you know, if you don't want more me in your life, I get it. I understand. Like I won't be offended. I'll be upset and hurt, obviously. But, you know, if anything, I would empathise with you because, like, you feel like you have too much of me in your life. How do you think I feel? I have to be me all day, every single day.